Good day, fellas. I hope you're ready for your daily dose of skill, and today we are going to take a look into all Battle Pass tanks. But before that, quick information for every and each of you. We have made a mega guide video for the Battle Pass. How many Battle Passes you want to expect or you need to expect, how to use the resources, blah, blah, blah. All information is going to be in the video in the description and as a pinned video. That's very important thing. Today's point is to take a look into every and each tank and to say what do we think about them. Is it good tank? Is it bad tank? Do we recommend to take the vehicle? We don't recommend to take the vehicle. It's very important thing to say, fellas. Extremely important thing to say. And keep this in mind. You always want to take one of the bounty equipment per season. Okay, it's very important thing to say. One of the most important things to do, period. Because you can take only one. That being said, let's take a look into all the tanks that we have in the Battle Pass, and let's start everything from the top 3 tanks to have, at least in my opinion, which would be Cobra, which would be Char Futur, which would be Phase 1. Those 3 tanks are the must-have. Cobra has a selling point of obviously clipping the tanks out 4.5 seconds, and you are doing 2000 damage if you are penetrating. Quite trollish armor-wise. Interesting mother trucker overall, and this is purely for fun. It's the most expensive tank, but it is loads of fun to play with. It costs 28 tokens, so it will take multiple seasons for you to claim this one. After that, we have a Char Futur, one of the best medium tanks in the tier 9, at least in my opinion. Autoloader / spotter, quite accurate gun. The armor, even though it doesn't look like it would have some, in reality, for some reason, it works. Sometimes you are bouncing a shot or two unexpectedly. I'm not saying that you can rely on the armor, so you can be like a mouse, but you can bounce shot or two, so that is a good thing. And Phase 1, in my opinion, the best heavy tank that can be offered in the Battle Pass. The armor is very, very decent, unless you are finding someone shooting good gold ammunition, then you can be penetrated around the frontal mantlet, but overall your goal is to play hold down, obviously, or alternatively side scrap to the certain extent or to the certain angle, depending on what kind of tank you are meeting and which tank you are having, right? Those are the tier 1 tanks or the mega tier tanks that I would recommend to take. After that, we have tier 2 tank, at least in my opinion, or tanks, I suppose to say. Yeah. And the most important thing would be to highlight Saryuda, which we lately played and we loved it. After that, Ki-91PT and Kunze Panzer. So, looking into those vehicles, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, with the Saryuda, we lately played with it. If you haven't seen the YouTube video, I would highly recommend to check it out. It is a good one, folks. And all in all, it is a triangle that has 90 degrees of the rotation to one side and to the other side. You have a decent armor against the lower tier tanks, so lower tiers cannot penetrate you that easily, and you can tap them for 2000. Pretty good tank. You can play aggressively whenever you are top tier, or you can play a bit more passively whenever you are bottom tier. Other than that, honestly, way better than your average Battle Pass tank, truly. Ki-91PT, afterwards, I like this beautiful, magnificent mother trucker. I think that it is a great tank, although it is not for everyone, right? The selling point of the tank is it has quite a bit of the armor, so you can play hull down, but if you are showcasing your hull overall, you can take one for the team, right? So either you are sniping or either you are not showing this bit whatsoever and you are just showing upper side, which is a very, very nice thing. And after that, we have a Kunze Panzer, and in my opinion, Kunze Panzer is, it's not my tank. I hear the people enjoying it and whatnot. I don't really like it. I think it is very complicated mother trucker to play with. That basically means you have the fast mode, you have a sniper mode. Whenever you are in the sniper mode, you are losing DPM, so you don't want to be in the sniper mode unless you need it. Very complicated bastard to play with. Plus, on top of that, obviously no armor whatsoever. So, it's not my tank. I can tell you that much. For me, I don't even look into that vehicle. And the rest of the tanks, honestly, all of them are kind of meh or nothing extraordinary or nothing special, or just I would recommend to, they are not priority. With the last exception, which we haven't tested it out, the new upcoming tank, which most likely is going to be 28 tokens, right? But going through the tanks overall, Object 265T, I played it couple of games. I instantly hated the tank. I did not trust the gun. I did not trust the armor. It was just simply pile of kaku, you know. This is how it felt like it. You can kind of side scrap until you can't because someone loaded gold. It's definitely far away from being ideal. After that, we have the meaty light, or fat light, if you will. Man, I did not enjoy playing with this tank whatsoever. It is a meatball for Arias tanks, at least in my opinion. I have nothing good to say, and I am a light tank lover. You know, I just did not enjoy this vehicle by any shape or any form. TS60 can work once in a while. The whole point is of this vehicle is to kind of play aggressively with a triangle because you don't really have a good gun handling, but you have a good DPM, so you need to go in front, and good luck with that. In certain situations, the tank felt very good, but in most of the situations, the tank felt meh to begin with. Although you can kind of side scrap until you can't, because you have a weak spot over there. Just simply a meh tank, you know, average at best, to say that the least. The T130M, in my opinion, the best selling point of this vehicle is armor, and that's it. And nothing more of that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. The gun handling is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. I have missed so many shots that I thought one of the monitors will fly through the window. Other than that, you know, big alpha damage, but very inaccurate gun. If I remember that correctly, you have the rocket booster, so you are getting into position relatively quickly. If I remember this correctly, I may be wrong though. I may be wrong. Yes, rocket boosters. Yes, exactly. So I remember this correctly. You can use them to get into position, but once again, the gun is the biggest problem, at least in my opinion, and I do not recommend to get this vehicle. Baza 58, nothing too special. Humongous lower plate. Even Cromwell Fart could penetrate this vehicle because it has only 105 millimeters of the lower plate. But what you need to keep in mind, that you can play hold down, right? So if you are playing hold down, it is actually decent. It has pretty okay gun handling from what I remember, and overall it is kind of okay tank. Obviously not phase 1 level, but it is okay, it can work. Nothing too crazy. Lorraine heavy, medium hybrid. You don't really have a good armor. Once again, you want to play hold down in order to get at least any advantage whatsoever for yourself, right? So you are a heavy tank, but in reality you are kind of medium supporting tank. You want to play hold down. You have pretty awful DPM if I recall it properly, and gun handling is okay. But once again, the DPM is kind of meh. Object 777, one of the easiest tanks to play, at least in my opinion, where the performance goes of the vehicle, right? All you want to do, you want to side scrap. That's what you want to do, and if you are dealing against the lower penetration tanks, you can even go harder like this, where the side scrapping goes, right? It's not that easy to penetrate this vehicle, although if you know what you are doing, you will just simply load the gold ammunition and shred this tank on top, or shred around the frontal mantlet, or whatever. You know, it just depends what kind of player is facing against you, and gun handling is kind of meh. From what I recall, yeah, the gun handling is quite kaku, to be fair with you. And last but not least, from the new tank, what we have the Kilo Bravo 52. And the tank is looking the hybrid between Object 257 and whatever else, and maybe even 777 if you will. Although it's hard to say, to be completely honest with you, because once again a lot of things are depending how the gameplay will look like. But we can clearly see you have two humongous cupolas. Even if you are playing hold down, your cupolas will be visible unless you are going to raise your gun like this. If you are going to raise your gun like this, you can get penetrated over there depending how high you are raising your gun. So that's something to keep in mind where the side scraping goes. You can get penetrated over there. It doesn't look great on the paper, I can tell you that much. It definitely doesn't look great on the paper, and I believe there is a chance that stats are not final. But just to say my my thoughts, what do I think about this, and just is it worth to save the tokens? And for now, I just don't see the point. Why would you do that? Because the tank doesn't even look that good. Anyways, 3 shells auto loader, 20 seconds, 24 seconds reload time. The standard penetration 237, which is not very good for medium tanks. Is at tier 9. The gold penetration 295, which is workable and it is okay. The shell velocity 1.3 thousand. The standard shell velocity 1040. It's nothing phenomenal. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing to write books about, and overall I don't really think that it is going to be that crazy of the vehicle, right? So I wanted to make a quick video just to remind you how the Battle Pass tanks are looking like. We will remake some videos with those very, very soon, either on the main channel, either on the extra channel. And I really want to remind you the video about the Battle Pass guide. There is a lot of information. There is plenty of the topics. There is plenty of the tips and tricks. And there is even how to prepare for Battle Pass extra chapters, because Wargaming is spamming us like crazy mother truckers. So I would highly recommend to check it out if you haven't seen this YouTube video. It's absolutely amazing. You will see that in the description down below and as a pinned comment. That being said, love you all. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for watching, and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.